Hi, this is Nathan Harrison for FineRemodel.com. We looked in part 1 at how the Foursquare type of house fits into American history and what it means. Let's look now at how to identify a Foursquare. The most important thing is that it looks like a big cube from the front. It also characteristically has hipped roofs. Okay, so the roof comes down to the same level on all sides. Here's an example of what's not a hip roof. This is a gabled roof on this Victorian house. Now, that being said, I would still call this house a true Foursquare because it meets our philosophical definition of a Foursquare. Whereas the third defining feature is that it would have a minimum of 2 stories. So that means that we would not consider this to be a Foursquare, even though it does have some of the other characteristics. And I would definitely say this is not a Foursquare. Got to draw the line somewhere. The other thing that I would say is a defining feature based on understanding the history of the Foursquare is its simplicity and its economy. Okay, other common features you'll find in a Foursquare. Often you'll find a prominent center hall down the middle of the house. Nearly all Foursquares will have a dormer in the front, and some will have a dormer on all 4 sides. A large front porch, often the full width of the house, is also characteristic. These columns or posts that hold up the front porch roof tend to be square rather than round. The eaves all around the house tend to have a very large overhang, as you can see here. And this is tied into the economy of the house. Because Foursquares generally have a hip roof and a large overhang, that means the house is protected from a lot of the rain. Only a driving rain is going to get onto the boards, which means the house is going to last longer. So again, it's about the economy. Foursquares typically had craftsman style woodwork, and later Foursquares would typically have arched entries between common rooms and possibly built-in cabinetry. Now, if you own a Foursquare and want to remodel, you're going to have to do it in the back because typically they're on very narrow lots. And it's good that it'll be in the back because that preserves the look of the Foursquare. If you build out from the side, it no longer looks like a cube. In the eyes of we moderns, Foursquares have 4 general shortcomings that usually occasion a remodel project. The first is a small and walled-off kitchen. Secondly, typically there will be only 1 bathroom in the house, typically not on the first floor. If you look closely at this floor plan, you can see a bath here on the 2nd floor, along with 4 bedrooms. On the 1st floor, all we show is a washroom. And I suspect that's not washroom like we use the word washroom now, but that was actually a laundry room. Another big complaint is a lack of storage space, although the attic in a Foursquare tends to be generous. This particular one has a pantry and nothing else other than these closets upstairs. And then the 4th complaint that occasions a remodel is the need for a much larger master suite. Now, given the fact that we are now 80 to 100 years past the time when these Foursquares were built, the chances are very great that if you own a Foursquare, someone's already attempted a remodel addition to the back of the house. If that's not the case, then consider yourself lucky. You're working with a clean slate, which is a lot less complicated. If you are working with a clean slate, then the obvious remodel project would be to simply add a two-story addition to the back of the house. On the first story, you'd want a kitchen expansion and a bathroom for the main floor. A mudroom with some storage would also be a good idea if you can fit it. Then, directly above that, on the second floor, would be an expanded master suite, possibly with a porch. And by the way, if you do a project like this, make sure it has a hip roof in keeping with the original look of the Foursquare. Here's one final tidbit I'll leave you with. When you see a neighborhood of Foursquares like this, you can bet there is a rail line nearby, because these houses were pre-built generally somewhere else and brought in by rail, and so of course the obvious place to build them would be somewhere near the rail line.